I guess it's working again. Weird not to be able to see what you guys are seeing. So I have no preview. I have no idea if it's in focus or any of that stuff. So any feedback you want to give. All right, yeah, let's open this thing up. Okay, it's working. Thanks, guys. Thanks for bearing with me. You'd think I would understand this, how to use this damn thing, since everything we're doing now is over webcams. So why am I doing this? Well, my publishing life started with an unboxing video, much like this. I had never in my life held a book with my name on it. And I remember getting the box in the mail that had this book in it, the very first book I ever wrote, with this cover art that I made. It's really terrible. And I was so excited and had so many friends and family that were so thrilled that I'd actually written a book. No one could believe I was actually doing this. You have to remember, like, some of you know me as a writer. Okay, Holly, I'll show you my pants in a second. And oh, so many questions. Dustin, I'm drinking a Dogfish Head 60-minute IPA. Quite good. Okay, so this was my first book. This was me as a 32-year-old freshman writer. And in this little house that I was in during this picture, I had a box with the first copies of this in it, and I set up a webcam. I was just as bad at it then as I am now. And I didn't, there was no, well, YouTube's changed a lot since then. So I just had like a YouTube video running live of just the box, like all day. And friends tuned in as I was counting down with sticky notes and getting myself ready, had a glass of wine, and we opened the box, and I saw for the first time a book that I'd written. And it's still crazy every time you get a new book in your hand. The physical thing that you can hold makes it feel so real, and all the time you put into it. So fast forward a few years, and I had written a short story that got published online for 99 cents. And it was called Wool. And in this short story, everyone dies. So there was no more. Oh, just notice this is like, this is my mom's copy with all of her notes in it. She's like proofing it and pointing out things to fix. That's interesting. I didn't know I still had this. I just pulled this off the shelf. So this was printed in, oh my gosh, 11 years ago. So this was the first copy of Wool, and at the time I did not expect much, and you guys went nuts, and I had to write more, and I wrote them in these individual books. It came out in 5 different books, each with terrible cover art that I made myself. And as ebooks, they were rocketing up the charts and selling very well, and I was writing fiercely and quitting my day job and making an income for the first time in my life, first just like hundreds of dollars, but enough to pay the bills. And someone online said, hey, it's annoying to have to click on 5 separate links. Can you combine these into one file? And I did that. And then I realized, yeah, I could do the same with a paperback. And so I made what's become known as the ugly version of Wool. People lovingly, I guess, call this the ugly Wool. And an ugly shift and an ugly dust would follow. And it became a New York Times bestseller on its own, like just word of mouth and the right people mentioning it, people telling their friends. It was absolutely insane. And I had a New York Times bestseller with the worst cover art you've ever seen. So I had a friend say, hey, you cannot represent authordom that way. So you have to get some better cover art. And they made this for me. And this became the first of several covers done by Mike Tabor, who was just a fan who reached out as a graphic designer. And he whipped this up, and I updated the PDF. And I was really just trying to improve this, by Mike's suggestion. But what ended up happening is that ugly version of Wool, this yellow one, wasn't up for very long, so it became kind of rare. So, hey, Patrice. I started a little early, and I think I screwed it all up. I don't know how you guys are finding me, because I started a new link. But anyway, glad you're here, everybody. We've been going through a history of wool, starting with the first book I ever wrote, Molly Find the Parsona Rescue, and then these other 3 versions of wool. And then I did my first book deal in the UK, and Random House in the UK sent out these proof copies. And these were made with 50 Shades of Grey money. 50 Shades of Grey had come out the year before, and I think that year, like a quarter of all books sold that year were one of the 3 50 Shades of Grey books. Random House was flush with cash. Money they didn't spend would end up going back to their parent company. So they started spending lavishly, and I benefited from that. And they made these crazy expensive proof copies that they sent out to reviewers, bloggers, and very few have survived, I think, with the yellow band on it. But this was like a really wild edition that came out. And while they were doing that with very simple covers, they made this amazing cover art that everyone's come to know and love, I think. I can see this thing from across an entire bookstore. I've seen people on buses and subways and on airplanes reading this. Like, it's just become this amazing, iconic cover. And later it got published in the US with Simon & Schuster. And when I did that publishing deal, my agent, Kristen Nelson, who's the best agent in the business, came through with this deal where the rights reverted back to me in 7 years, even if the book was selling well. And it was a print-only deal. It had never been really done before, any of these kinds of clauses she put in. So I was able to continue selling the book myself as an ebook and an audiobook, and Simon & Schuster was putting out this beautiful hardback and paperback edition using the UK cover art. And after 7 years, the book was still selling well. And all of a sudden, a TV show is starting to get adapted, which we're knee deep in right now. And so I got the rights back, and I got to go back to publishers. And let me show you a couple more editions real quick. This was an edition that came out in partnership with a bookstore in the UK, where they made this slip case and fitted it with the UK edition of the hardback, which is a paper on board book, which I really love. And there were not many of these made. I love this edition. It was like hardback, but it was only like £9.99 or euro. So very affordable. So that came out. And then, of course, there was the Subterranean Press edition, which is by far the most ridiculous edition of this series that's been made to date. Wool, Shift, and Dust fit in this crazy box made by Subterranean Press. Unfortunately, these were way too expensive. And they're worth every penny, but not everyone can afford them. And anyone who's followed me knows that, like, when I negotiate deals with publishers, I'm like, how low can we price this? I want everyone to be able to afford this. But this was a special thing. There were not that many made, I think like 50 numbered and 26 lettered editions. And this is one of them. So when we got a opportunity to do a new deal, and at this point I'd published several books with HMH Publishing. I'll massacre the pronunciation, but it's Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. They had done some amazing deals, worked with John Joseph Adams over there, and my senior editor, Bruce, who's since moved on. And what was great about HMH is they were doing really cool deals. Like, we were able to do a Simon & Schuster print-only deals, time-limited deals, things that were fair to both of us. So when Wool came back up on the market, I was just hoping I could do a deal with them, because I like everything being in one house. And sure enough, we did a deal for new editions of Wool with new cover art. Now, that was not going to happen. They were just going to use the cover art from the previous editions, but I was like, let's do a re-release. Let's make something new. And that launched this incredible, it's all been happening over quarantine, but we spent months going back and forth with the designers coming up with this new cover art, which you can see on Amazon on the ebooks. I have not seen any of this cover art in person, much less this box set, which was another idea I came up with. I know people loved these collectible editions, and not everyone was able to get one. And I wanted to figure out how to do a box set that was beautiful, readable, but affordable. So we figured we would do a paperback box set with a gorgeous, to me, it's all about the art and design. And we did this gorgeous wrap that incorporates the spines with the box when you put it all together. And it took a lot of work. I cannot wait to see if we pulled it off. I'm really, really nervous. But the end result is, and we also did extra material. So the short stories that were in the Apocalypse triptych, which not everyone was able to read because you had to buy 3 anthologies to get these, we combined those into a separate book. And then I wrote essays for each of the 3 books, which we were able to repaginate the book since we were doing new covers anyway, and get all of that revamped into these brand new editions. And without further ado, because I know some of you have so many things to do during this pandemic, let's open this baby up. Let's see, we're 10 minutes in. First, before I do that, let me just see if there's any questions or anybody I need to say hello to. Sorry about messing up the link. I hope everyone was able to find this. All right. A lot of people saying it's in focus. Holly wants to see my pants. Okay. I pretty much live in these pink sweatpants because they have pockets. And because they're not too baggy, I find that like men's sweatpants are these massive things. So I wear ladies' pants. What else? Thanks, Sherry, for the kind words. Yeah, everybody loves the terrible cover art. I don't know. Oh, thanks, Lexi. Lexi says it's one of the best books of all time. I see so many names from like that first month of like all of this happening. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me all this time and for making all this possible. I'm going to figure out some way to do some giveaways and give some addition to this out to lucky winners and do some signed copies. It's been hard to do that while I've been at sea, but I like to get back to rewarding you guys. The last thing I did before I took off on the boat was give away like every foreign edition and every extra copy I had of these rare books to people, and just kept like one of everything for myself. So you guys have given so much. I love giving back, and we'll try to figure out how to do more of that in the future. Without further ado, it's not ahead. Every time I do an unboxing, I get the Brad Pitt. Oh man, I just caught like the barest little sliver of a glimpse, and my heart started racing. Oh, how many? I think there's 4 in here. Who am I going to send these to? I don't need. Oh my God, there's 8 of these in here. See, this is what I'm talking about. I wanted something that made sense for shoppers, not for collectors. Like this should be something that you buy and actually read and use and put back in the box to keep up with. Look at this beautiful black and red. I don't have a preview window, so I have no idea how this looks, but it says the Silo Saga, and on the side you've got this spiral staircase, and oh my God, it actually worked. So the stairs step perfectly into the spine of these the 4 editions, and then continue. I don't know how these designers did that, man. Just looking at the wrap in the PDF, I was like, there's no way you can line this up and make it come out right. And it came out perfectly. We stayed with the same color theme from the original covers, just to have a little bit of a connection to the past. And something I don't think I had on the originals, but I love when books number the editions on the side. So we did that. It's got the Mariner imprint logo on the side, and that's a complete coincidence that the imprint I'm with at HMH is Mariner. Like sometimes life just works out perfectly like that. Guys, I feel like a kid in a candy store. I can't believe this. And I can't believe I got to pull all these out just so you can see this embarrassment of riches. Why did they send me so many of these? So I know I had to send one to my sister. I guess she's watching. My mom's going to get one. I have enough here to do a little giveaway. I'll figure out how to do that. Is it killing you guys to watch these just come out of the box like this? Wait, Ernie, what did you get at Target? You didn't get this one, did you? Whoa. It's like unnecessary to pull all these out, but I'm going to do it anyway. Just to make a big pile of these on this stool. Oh my God. These are the perfect size. It's like, this is like they're upside down. I know this is making you guys nervous because you don't want these damaged before I send them out. Okay, I won't do that. Is that even on video? Hopefully you guys can see this. Okay. Enough of the playing with the boxes. Let's check these out. What's going on down here? Yeah, you can see them? All right. I'm having to rely on you guys to tell me what's going on because I can't see any video. So this is what you would get. There's a little texture to the side, which is cool. And what I love about this, it's cool to be so involved in the cover art. There's like a kid running down the stairs on this side scene and a man trudging up. And it's still my favorite first line of any of the books I've written, that the children were playing while Holston climbed to his death. He could hear them squealing as only happy children do. And just that juxtaposition of like where we start in life and where we end up really set the tone for the whole book. And I'm really, really proud of how that came out. And on the side, you can barely see this in the black, but there's this is kind of matte, and there's a little shiny Juliet at the bottom of the silo looking up, like not even aware of what she's in store for. So let's check these out. Woo. And I like because they're in reading order left to right, when you pull these out, you get the silo stories in the front. And this is brand new. It's never existed, and it kind of pays homage to how this whole thing started with just some short stories. This is beautiful. You can see this little guy sitting in the eye. Beautiful black cover art. Not for individual sale. So no sailing this thing. Goosebumps. I know, Holly. Like seriously, I'm shaking a little bit. Patrice, it's so nuts that I was working in a bookstore when all this happened, and I'm just writing books on the side. And my boss, Bill, would just sit beside me, and I would tell him about some story I was working on, and he would just kind of like, he was so bemused by the whole thing. And we were like best friends at the time. And, all he'd ever dreamed of was writing like a good book. He was more of a literary guy. And he would see me every lunch break writing for an hour and wondering what in the world I was doing with my time when it was beautiful outside. And I was working on these. And then one day I put in my 2-week notice, which was kind of bittersweet. Like some part of me dreamed of becoming a bestseller and just staying at the bookstore. And there was a bit of overlap there where that was happening. And I was doing talks like in classrooms at the university while I was trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do with my life now that was changing. And I was having, like, you're not allowed to have your phone on you while you're on the floor. And I had to have it on me because like Ridley Scott was calling to do a film deal. And I was like telling Bill, like, I guess you fire me. I don't know what to do. Like I have to take these calls. And it was just a confusing time because I never imagined this in my life, being a full-time writer. So it took a while to figure out what to do. Anyway, I'm looking at these for the first time now. Is there enough light? Can you see this? The color, it's so cool how it pays homage to the originals. And man, I looked at so many different versions of this. And ones with the stairs in white and with the word in white and the stairs in black. But this yellow is absolutely perfect. And, we had like where to put the figures and what to do. And anybody who's read the story will know who these two people on the cover are. And, wow. Sorry, I'm just going to get choked up. It's just crazy to think of the journey I've been on with these characters. I'm having to read and write with them now because we're working on the TV show. And, man, we're doing some cool things where like we tell some of the backstory that you're aware of, but you don't get to see, where Jules and Holston are in scenes together, and it's the most unbelievable fan service to me. And I don't know if this will get shot, but like we're as far along as I've been with anything. And just thinking about like seeing some of these scenes on TV after getting to know these characters so well for so long. There's 3 characters on the spine, one on each book, and like just who they are and where they're positioned is very it'll be important to anybody who finishes the books or anybody who's actually read them. You'll know who those 3 people are just by their silhouettes and where they're positioned. It tells an entire story. These spines and these covers tell a story. So in the first one, man, I got totally choked up just thinking about Jules and Holston on the cover of this book. So there's Wool. Shift. Only one person. It's very hard to see, but they're in the eye like a frozen coffin. I'll leave that for you guys to figure out. That's Shift. Stunning. And then, of course, Dust with Jules again. Wow. They did a great job paginating these and laying them out. And can't wait for you to see my dedications. I won't tell you those, but they're for you guys. I didn't pick individual people out of my life and single them out. I really wanted to dedicate these to an entire group of people who hopefully find some meaning and some value in these stories. I know most of you have already read these. If you have books you haven't read that you need to spend money on, please get those first before you get another copy of a book you've already read. I think the price on these is like right at $40, which 3 $15 paperbacks. These are $16.99 a piece. I think they're all the same. So I think the box set might be a little cheaper than the retail of the 3 books, which is what we were aiming for. I'm not sure if we pulled that off, but my hope was to kind of make this really a no-brainer to get it this way rather than individual, and to get this box with it, and to get these stories, which labeled number 4 to be read after the trilogy. Well, I'm glad I did this live, because if I would have done this, if I would have recorded this, I would have had to do an entire retake for like losing my cool over seeing that cover. But it is what it is. Okay, that's that. I'm gonna spend all night just like going through these, and it's gonna kill some of you. I'm gonna like crack these spines and really go through these books, and then I gotta send copies off to my mom and my sister, and we got to figure out what to do with these other ones. Probably need to send one to the showrunner, who I've been driving crazy by sending notes on every script. Like, what if we did this? What if we did that? And they're like, yeah, we don't need to hear from you about every little thing. But maybe I'll bribe them with a box set. Okay. Any questions I need to go over? Good. I'm out of focus. Excellent. You saw none of that. Well, I don't know if I'm glad I was out of focus for the crying part. What else? Okay. Someone says Amazon says $45.63, $45 for these 3 books. That makes no sense. These would be like $50 at list price. So you're getting a box set for less than the cost of the books. And God bless HMH. And I think it could be that Amazon is doing a little discounting, but the list price of this is $55, which is like not much over the list price of these books, which I don't know how they pull this off, but I'm so glad they're able to do it and able to work with me and with you guys and value like getting books in hands more than creating. And nothing against these collector's editions. I love them, but I would, this is my success is because a lot of people shared their thoughts on this. Speaking of which, if you love these stories, if you want to write me a love letter about these books, because we have a new SKU here, this box set's never existed before. So on Amazon, and I'll share that in the video, and I'll share it on my social media right after I get off. So you guys can see the product. If you want to buy one, you can buy one, but also you can leave a review. You can wait until you get this in your hand and talk about the quality of the packaging. You can write about the books, what they've meant to you, but and do it for your favorite writers, not just me. It's the absolute number one thing you can do for writers that you have spent time with their books and appreciate. Just write them a review. It means the world. And I've been so lucky over the years to amass just an unbelievable number of reviews on wool, and would love to see some for the box set as well, to just let people know what an amazing job the art team did and the production team, and what an amazing job Kristen did to make this possible. These books would not exist without Kristen, because somebody would have already taken the rights and the thing would have gone out of print. You wouldn't be able to find it now. So she's kept these books alive over the years, and I really appreciate that. Definitely would not have happened without you all telling me to write more from that very first short story. This is real Jenga. I'm going to pull this thing off on the bottom. All right, just from this, and then you guys asking for more. So none of this would exist without you, and I would not have had the success without the first handful of you supporting me and writing your reviews and sharing the links and doing all that you've done. So, okay, I've gone on forever. Guys, thank you so much. Let me see if I have any questions. New content. I've got 2 books underway. I'm not sure which one I'll finish first. One is taking some, David Gatewood says, it was that crap cover that started it all. David, it was your edits that probably started this all. New content. Yeah, I've got 2 books that are probably about halfway done. One is, well, I don't want to say too much about them. I'll tease them when they come out. And then I'm going to jump into NaNoWriMo in 15 days and put 50,000 words into the draft for the sequel to Sand. So that's also happening this year. So trying to get a lot done while we're locked in. And what else is going on? Oh, Debbie, you're so sweet. You guys are my favorite readers, that's for sure. Yeah, I agree. It's so exciting to have this box set out, and man, I'm so blown away. I'm gonna go spend some time with these books. Guys, thank you so much. Hopefully this video saves. Hopefully it came out okay. I can't see a thing. And once again, thank you to you all. I'll put a link up to these bad boys, and I'll try to figure out how to send a signed copy out to a lucky few readers. So keep an eye out for that. I'll do a blog post about that. And namaste. Thank you guys. See you on the flip side.